despite our issues with me and college kid or whatever, I definitely also do want to say that they're usually pretty quick and usually accurate with things regarding Chicago and Chicago artists. They did put out something that caused a lot of people to believe that one of Durk's right hand man, at least currently, which is Vonnie, was snitching. And let me see if I can find it. Can I find it? Find it. Let me go down a little bit. Okay. Okay. Maybe they deleted it. I don't know. I'll just find it on Twitter. So a lot of a lot of yo, I love Flacco. Yo, I love Flacco, but Flacco like TMZ. When you see Flacco post something, you almost gotta be like, look at this headline. Lil Durk found out his co-defendant OTF Vonnie, King Von cousin, filed for protective custody when they came to court. Okay. That sounds so crazy. That sounds so crazy. Now, this is why we have streams like this. This is, I'm not gonna get on anybody or anything like that, and I'm not gonna ever say that I haven't, maybe jumped the gun maybe once in a while, but I definitely do aim to be correct, and I never try to be incorrect out of malice, right? This is why we love to bring up the paperwork and try to explain it, and also increase everyone's knowledge on stuff, because a lot of times these days the headline is way better than the story. So just to be very clear, there is no protective custody that was filed for, and I actually have all the paperwork here, and I'm gonna break it down to you. This isn't the YSL case. There's not a bunch of snitches that are folding afterwards. The feds come very differently. They already got their snitches. You're not gonna see the snitches file paperwork. Okay, the people who are cooperating with the feds, their cases are either currently sealed, or they'll get added in a superseding indictment later on, or it'll be separately added somewhere else. But you won't see the nonsense that you've seen in Fulton County. I think watching that YSL case made us really think that court is some ghetto shit that everybody's telling, everybody's this. And at least so far, none of the main guys on Durk's team or OTF squad, none of them are telling, okay? I want to be very clear about this, because also as we get into this case, because we're not going to have cameras in court, we got to be actual and factual and not dirty or sully the name of people who either don't deserve it or they didn't do it, okay? So let me pull up the documents right here, and I want to explain to you what this is, because this is categorically incorrect, okay? And, peace to Flacco, but I don't think that either Flacco probably heard from someone else, or maybe he misinterpreted what other people are reporting. But just to be very, very clear, here we go. I'm just pulling up the paperwork. Just to be very, very clear, this is not true, okay? Now, okay, I got it here. So what happened is that the prosecutors in the Durk case has gotten a order signed for a protective, it's a protective order, but it's for discovery. Now, I'm going to tell you why this matters, right? And let me explain it in very simple terms before I get to the legalese. You see what happened in the Diddy case, where the prosecutor kind of painted Diddy out to be like this abusive guy, even though we were hearing lawsuits already. They leaked the video with Cassie, which they're now using the same video as evidence. You get what I'm saying? It kind of taints the jury. So what's happened is that there's a protective order that's being put in place in the Durk situation. The person who filed it, he's actually, remember, Durk got superseded into the indictment with him, but the head of the indictment the head of the first indictment, because there was two separate indictments. Durk got charged on a complaint, then they superseded, then they put Durk at the head of the indictment. But the first indictment, Kevon London Grant, aka Vonnie, he was the person who was the lead, so the top of the organization, as they would claim. It's not a RICO, but still the top of the whole indictment. Now, the reason why there is a protective order regarding discovery is because here's the thing that's also going to happen. And it's not only protecting the defendants, it's protecting the U.S. Again, I'm going to speak in very plain terms that you can understand it before I read it, anything. Remember, if the feds could try to leak, they could leak stuff, right? Like, say they leak the video or a picture. Not that you would imagine they would, but they could leak a picture. Like, everybody loves Durk, but imagine if they leaked the picture of the dead body of Lil Pop, right? It might make people look at that whole situation a little bit different and probably be like, yo, these guys are animals. Like, wow, like, whoa, this is some crazy shit, right? So that's partly the reason why this order is put in place, is to make sure no one could leak anything. Second of all, there is going to be, through discovery, they're going to find out who is telling on them. When you are charged with a crime, there's no secret snitches. They have to let you know, hey, this is how we know this information. All of this is going to come out through discovery. Now, obviously, we imagine that everybody who is cooperating is incarcerated, but there might not be. For example, co-conspirator 3, who booked the flights, I would assume that person is free, right? Is an OTF person that's free. Who knows if they have shared information with the feds. But again, Durk is locked up. These guys are locked up. If they share who that person is, or a document that would implicate that person as a snitch or anything else, that might be almost like kill that nigga before we get to trial. Like, because again, this whole Durk case is gonna be heavily based on, I was there when he told me to kill the nigga and he promised this amount. It's a lot of like hearsay. It's a lot of hearsay, because from what we know at this point, they don't have Durk dead to rights in terms of him texting, yo, did you clap, bro? I got 50 grand for you. Nothing like that. So it's going to come from people saying, yeah, this is the conversation we had with Durk. This is how I understood it. Blah, 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 blah. And the amount of people they're going to put together with the different circumstances that it would make sense only in that situation, with those people telling and saying whatever they're saying. That's how they're hoping to convict Durk. So the protective order is to stop the leak of witnesses and other people that throughout the investigation that the feds have identified or they have used to make this case. Also, it's going to help the defendants as well, because certain things about them, and also even their personality traits or their character, whatever, won't get leaked as well. So there's nothing about Vonnie's not telling, and I want to be very straight up. He's not telling, okay? And I'll add the word yet, right? Not saying he would, but this does not mean he's telling. So there's a protective order regarding discovery, because the discovery is going to contain personal identifying information, medical information, and there's a Privacy Act information and protected witnesses information. Like, for example, let's say somebody had chlamydia or some shit like that, right? And in those texts going back and forth while they're talking about the murder, they're like, yo, I'm going to go cop the ski mask after I go get my fucking chlamydia medication. You get what I'm saying? That would be also some things that are protected, even though maybe potentially in a discovery basis, the other side would need to know in terms of these conversations that were held that could You get what I'm saying? That could have been investigatory. You get what I'm saying? Now, obviously, that's a stretch. I'm making that up. I'm just making that up. But yes. So anyway, I'll read a couple lines of this. This is 11 pages. The main thing I wanted to knock out the park immediately. Vonnie's not telling. Nothing of this says he's telling. Okay. The court has read and considered the parties. And by the way, the judge has signed off on this. Here's the judge's signature. On the right, Honorable Michael W. Fitzgerald. And we could just read. Let's read a few paragraphs. The court has read and considered the party's stipulation for protective order regarding discovery containing personal identifying information, medical information, Privacy Act information, and protected witness materials filed by the government and defendant Kevon London Grant. Also, one of the reasons why Vonnie would want this as well is because if they don't agree to it, the government might not, it might slow the process of them getting the discovery. So when you get charged with a crime, they got to give you all the evidence they got. But if they feel like that evidence could be compromised or you could use the evidence in illicit ways, they could petition a court to almost like disseminate it to you in certain ways. However, they're basically saying, hey, we ain't gonna use none of the information to go harass, go kill a witness or some shit like that. We won't leak it to nobody. And also, y'all can't leak nothing too, right? Okay, cool. The government discovery in this case relates to the defendant's alleged crimes. Okay. A protective order for the discovery is necessary, this is important, so that the government could produce to the defense materials regarding protected witnesses who participated in the investigation. So bingo. If there was no protected order granted, the government would be trying to hide their witnesses until trial. Why? You don't want the family of these people to be killed or harassed. You don't want other things to fuck up your case, right? You don't want them leaking that name outside of this case, even though probably it will get out anyway. You don't want them leaking it and then some other people saying, oh, well, we won't smirk on the street if we heard that this nigga telling, let's go harass his kids, let's go harass his sister, his brother, his mama. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they for them to get the discovery, they had to say, we're not gonna leak nothing. And it says it's for protected witnesses, right? Who participated in the government's investigation, who may testify at trial, and or whose safety may be endangered by disclosure of identified information. Because these materials could be used to identify the protected witnesses, the court finds that the unauthorized dissemination or distribution of the materials may expose him or her to potential safety risk and danger to and the danger of witness intimidation. So they're trying to protect the snitches, but the snitches isn't who we know yet. They have hidden the identity. They have called them co-conspirators. They have called them witnesses, right? Protective order for the discovery is also necessary so that the government can produce to the defense materials containing third parties, PII, and medical information, okay? The court finds that disclosure of this information without a limitation risks the privacy and security of the information legitimate owners. The medical information at issue may also be subject to various federal laws protecting the privacy of medical records. Why is this important again, chat? A realistic situation here is that there's probably going to be a coroner that's going to testify to say Lil Pop died from a gunshot wound that entered his frontal lobe and came out through his back. Like, that was the cause of death. Sometimes in murder cases, you'll get people try to say, nah, he ain't died from the bullet. That nigga had a heart attack. You know, that nigga was fat anyway. He had diabetes. You know, they try to like change up that's kind of a way to say, I ain't kill him, right? Like they were trying to do that with the whole George Floyd thing. No, he ain't died from the knee on his neck. He actually died from other reasons. He had this going on and that going on. I mean, it's like, yeah. So, you know, they're going to have to get like the coroner report of the cause of death for Lil Pop is going to have some sensitive material that has to do with his health prior to even his death, and for that stuff to also be protected, because even in death, his medical records is still protected. That's another reason. Okay. Because of the government has an ongoing obligation to protect third parties, the government cannot produce the defendant a unredacted set of discovery containing this information without the court entering this protective order. So essentially, they said, unless you want discovery with a bunch of blacked out shit, right, that we just can't show you it because we got to protect people, for you to see everything, you got to agree to this protective order. And the protective order says y'all ain't gonna leak it. And likewise, it also says the feds ain't gonna leak it, even though in this situation, why would they need to, right? This isn't like a Diddy situation. But you never know. Moreover, blah, blah, the PII and medical information makes up a significant part of the discovery in this case, and such information itself, in many instances, has evidentiary value. If the government were to attempt to redact all of this information in strict compliance with the federal rule of criminal procedure, right, the defense would receive a set of discovery that would be highly confusing and difficult to understand. And it would be challenging for defense counsel to adequately evaluate the case, provide provide advice to the defendant to prepare for trial. So basically, they said, if we can't talk about, for example, you know what might be important? Let's say Lil Pop was shot before, right? Let's say he was shot. Let's say maybe he lost a lung. Let's say, all these things are going to matter in like the coroner and the coroner autopsy report. They're saying if we got to redact all of that for the privacy of Lil Pop and I guess his estate or his family, y'all wouldn't see shit. And that's a lot of the discovery, right? They're gonna break down. You got to remember that they claim it's 3 shooters. They're gonna break down, hey, we know that this caliber bullet hit him here. We know that this caliber bullet hit him here. They know the gun's already used. Now they're gonna have to show him getting shot from all the guns. Or some forensic person's gonna have to testify to, well, I know he was shot with a mini Draco or a Draco because the caliber of the bullet right here is 7.62. Yeah, he did get hit right here with a 40 caliber bullet, and over here it was actually he got hit with a 9mm, right? So all that shit makes sense. Okay. The purpose of the protective order is therefore to allow them to give discovery. That's it. All right. So there is no snitches, right? Accordingly, the discovery that the government will provide to the defense counsel in the above captioned case will be subject to this protective order. Okay, protected witnesses. Okay, cool. So they're spelling out exactly what will be there. So witness material is going to be information relating to any witness prior history of assistance with law enforcement. That's going to be interesting. So here's the thing: if there was for example, they keep bringing up OTF Jam. We don't know yet, but we've just heard supposedly from internal OTF. They're saying he's been a guy who's worked with the feds before, or cooperated before. That's going to be very important to know. Have you voluntarily been working for the feds? How long are you incentivized? What cases did you caught before? Are you just still work? So all these things are going to matter. So they're going to have that information. Then prior criminal history, statements, or anything else they've ever given. And those statements could be used to identify a protected witness. For example, if they had to X out the name or redact the name, if they were like, yeah, I was with Lil Durk when we was at the store when he upped the gun on the clerk, but he didn't shoot. Durk could now just, by the process of, who was I at a store with one time that I almost shot a clerk? Oh, it's this guy. So he's the snitch, right? All right. Okay, cool. And yeah, and they're saying any information that could be like address, date of birth, social security. So this is more routine than you might think. It's routine as you might think. And I do want to remind y'all, let's not use what happened in Fulton County to cast any aspersions on this Durk case or the Diddy case. Pause. Just because in Fulton County the criminals are running the show, that is not the case federally. Okay, we rarely see them get made a fool of. All right, and even when people thought Diddy's lawyer may have got one, he still got denied bond. Right, so we will see with that. All right, okay, and I think that's about it. That's about it. So they put some limits to it, like when it could be seen, how they're gonna protect it by saying, if they're not gonna allow. I don't think they might even issue a rule in here that they can't have it in their cell. Yeah, defendant may not take any such materials out of the room when they're meeting with the defense team, meaning that they can't bring like a copy of the discovery to their cell, pass it around in prison. Now niggas know who the snitches are, and people gonna go harass their family. So they're saying you could look at it, review it with your lawyers in the presence of your lawyer, but when you're going back to your cell, you don't bring this with you. Okay? And this is kind of like it's kind of standard, you know. This case, as I've told you, it's made off witnesses and snitches, and the snitches already. None of the snitches have been named, none, but they're trying to protect them, and one of the ways of protecting them, they're saying, "Yo, if we tell you who the snitches is, you ain't gonna do no fuck shit, are you?" And they've spelt it out in a way here that they could easily claim witness intimidation if anything starts happening after this. Yo, this guy been cooperating with us for the last year. His family was never threatened. As soon as we gave you discovery and we told you that he was cooperating, his family's threatened. That's a problem, right? So, okay. All right, so that's pretty much it. But this was drafted by the assistant U.S. attorney, and it was signed off on by the district judge. So what's going to happen is that I believe the 15th or it might be the 11th, they have a detention hearing. Durk and them is not getting out on bail. It's just not going to happen. I can't see it, right? You know, they're going to bring up flight risk, all that type of stuff. If you ask me, in this Durk situation, his lawyer has talked to him and said, yo, bro, check this out. We don't need to, obviously Durk's a street dude. Durk's not Diddy. Like, I could tell when Diddy went to jail, he's probably saying to his lawyer, why the fuck did I come to New York, walk around, contact the feds a million times saying they could pick me up anytime, or we could schedule a turn in if I'm not going to get bail. Get me fucking bail now, right? Like, Diddy didn't want to be in jail at all, right? I'm not saying nobody wants to be in jail, but I'm pretty sure Durk's lawyer sat him down and said, yo, check this out. We're going to try to get you bail. They haven't tried to get Durk bail at all yet, but I think they're playing a different game. They know Durk isn't a bitch, so they're like, yo, when did Durk get locked up? When did Lil Durk get locked up? Okay, he got locked up on October 25th, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure his lawyer told him, like, yo, listen, you're going to have to sit for like 2-3 months. And Durk had to agree to that. And this is what, if you ask me, this is my amateur opinion. You're going to have to sit for 2-3 months. This case could be weak as fuck. Wait, you ain't text them that to go kill nobody, right? I'm pretty sure Durk is going to say no. You ain't on the phone saying go kill somebody, right? I'm hoping he would say no. Or I'm hoping that answer is no. Now, is there coded conversation that might be like, yo, you scored that goal? Be like, yo, y'all boys handle that? Like, I don't know if that exists. I don't know if that's recorded. We will find out. But I would imagine Durk's lawyer saying, check this out. Their case is all going to be based on who's the snitches and a lot of hearsay stuff that they're going to try to corroborate with other circumstances and witnesses to blame you. Just sit in jail for 3 months. We're going to get discovery. And this is the part where they're going to get discovery, right? They're going to get discovery very soon. And now they're going to have a game plan to make. Once they get discovery, I think they're going to then say, hey, we want a bond. And that bond is going to then be, that bond hearing or the application, they're going to say, hey, listen, everything in this thing is circumstantial. And it's flimsy at best. Durk's an artist. He travels very frequently on private jets. Yes, he was in L.A., but look at his schedule for the last year. Matter of fact, he lived in L.A. for part of the year. He goes there all the time. He does business there. He does podcasts all the time. This has nothing to do with a murder. Him going there has nothing to do with it. Lil Durk is also usually rolls with a big entourage. he's not responsible for what everybody else does. And they're going to kind of like lay it out like that, right? But they need discovery first. So that's why you haven't seen much action on the Durk case, because they're telling him, like, bro, could you chill out for 2 months until we get discovery? Because this is going to be big. Because we don't want to keep blowing our chance at bail, right? Give us a chance. And I think Durk's been locked up for months before, and I think he said, all right, cool. So we're gonna start seeing some movement in January, most likely, and the first action is gonna be this detention hearing, which I think they're gonna deny him bail. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. So discovery is coming very soon for Durk. Now, a lot of people actually reacted to this because everyone was posting it, and people were like, "Yo, is Vonnie snitching?" And this is why, like, we got to vet these information. We then saw, here's Bezu, who spoke on rumors of OTF Jam and Vonnie snitching in the King Von revenge case. Okay, let's play this. Sorry. Here we go.
Fuck this day you saying Vonnie for? Who the fuck is Vonnie? Y'all on this bitch loose. That's why I don't like going live. Y'all just be talking. See, look, this is what I learned about social media, right? All it takes is one blogger to spread a rumor, right? Let me turn this camera on. All it takes is one blogger to spread a rumor. And then they calculate off every rumor and spread the news. That's how false narratives get spread, gang. No motherfucker know what's going on but them people that's in them courtrooms, man. For real. Them be false accusations. Y'all don't even know what the fuck be going on, for real. Y'all really be trying to play Inspector Gadget and all this goofy ass shit. All these fake ass jailhouse lawyers and all these fan ass bloggers. Y'all really just be wanting to just throw little shit out there so a motherfucker come with another narrative and y'all just carry on. That shit just fall like a domino effect. Y'all say one thing and a motherfucker gonna react to that and say this and say that. How a motherfucker snitching on a motherfucker that's innocent, gang? Y'all just be weird as hell, blood. That's what I be talking about, man. Like, first y'all that threw the jams rumors out there. Now y'all talking about Vonnie a snitch, gang. A snitch on what, blood? Y'all don't even really know what's going on, for real. On my kids, y'all really just be running y'all shit. And that's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. Because of you motherfuckers. Y'all be trying to get a motherfucker put under the jails. Y'all trying to go let a motherfucker meet Larry for the first time. You hear me? On my mother. I can't deal with y'all. That's why I'm a bitch ass nigga. I ain't never been on shit. Ain't gonna be on shit. I'm a goofy, a fake tough ass nigga. I'm all that, gang. Make sure y'all stick to the plan. Make sure y'all tell the police the same shit that y'all be calling me on these social sites. You hear me? Stick to the plan. WAP ain't no nothing. Zoo broke, dirty. He not OTF no more. All the shit y'all be screaming. Stick with that shit, gang. Stick with that shit since y'all know so much. On my mama, because y'all definitely get a motherfucker balled up thinking y'all know something. I'm glad y'all move and think the way y'all think. You hear me? That's why I'm in the clear. That's why I'm still doing what I'm doing. Minding my motherfucking business with no worries on my shoulder, because I don't deal with you fuck niggas. You hear me? Gotta stick to the plan, Sparrow. Because if I was on this motherfucker trying to control any type of situation, guess what? Oh, Zoo a top hitter, or Zoo said he did this the other day, or Zoo it. I don't got a great eye being in somebody's jail fucking with you goofies. Just running off rumors and y'all spread them bitches like Wi-Fi. Like, y'all ain't got nothing else better to do with y'all life but sit here and try to collect evidence on a motherfucking case, gang. 1 minute y'all love a motherfucker, then y'all hate a motherfucker. But guess what? As long as you stay real, man, they gonna love you again. I ain't worried about a motherfucker disliking me or falling back on me or unfollowing me. Because you watching me, you paying attention to me. You watching me for a reason. That mean you fuck with me on the low-key side. Let me hear what he talking about. He talking shit today. Let me tune in the zoo and see what he talking about. But y'all want to get on this motherfucker comment, all type of goofy shit. But y'all the ones on my live swiller pulling. Dick eating. Bite. You hear me? Y'all on this bitch little bites like little mamas. And I'll be seeing more niggas sucking swiller than the bitches, gang. Y'all don't even get a bitch no wrong, you ain't eat no cock. On my mother. Y'all be on this bitch. Bite. Shit be out of hand, man. This shit be out of hand, gang. And then, like, I can't even tell them motherfucking characters. Like, it'll be a goofy ass nigga that I see in real life for real. That's behind a fake page, and I be thinking he a real nigga the whole time. He a bitch behind the keyboard, gang. As much feminine shit and female shit I be saying going on with you niggas on these social sites, gang. I can't dare see y'all like that a person. Everybody, when you see a motherfucker in real life, gang, every motherfucker want to portray themselves like they real. See, I fuck with goofies. I fuck with real niggas. I fuck with a motherfucker that be they self. You ain't got to be no gangster to hang with me. Just know your place and stay in your place. On my mama, you cool with me. Niggas be, man, you got a lot of whack homies, Zoo. No, I got a lot of real homies. On my daughter, because all the niggas that y'all call my whack homies be the main niggas standing on top of business when business time to get stood on, gang. You feel me? Y'all don't understand the definition of being yourself. Everybody want to be a real nigga, but y'all can't even define real. You hear me? Y'all can't even find real. Y'all want to be a real nigga to y'all guys, but y'all ain't being no fathers to y'all kids. Y'all ain't respecting y'all mamas. You feel me? Hey, bro, could y'all get off my live screaming motherfuckers' names in my day working, gang? What the
Okay,
fuck
all
do that
right,
mean? What's
all right, all right. We're gonna figure out if OTF Jam is really involved, but again, I could definitely clear up. Vonnie is not telling, he's not cooperating, and if anything changes, we'll let you guys know. Okay, but what was done is only a protective order that discovery could be given out, which means the United States of America, their prosecutors, will be now officially cleared to give a unredacted, raw pause evidence file or folder to the defense that they could look at who's telling on them, what their background is, their criminal history is, the nature of the murder, the ballistic report, the coroner examination, the autopsy, and everything like that. So that's all that's going on right now. Okay. Drew Finland, who's representing Lil Durk, he actually did make a comment about Durk, and he actually believes that it's about rap lyrics, and it feels like many lawyers say that, right? Give me 1 second. Now, okay. All right, let me just. I want to read a statement. It said they tell TMZ, when you see an artist rap lyrics quoted as evidence against them, it is a glaring indication that there's no real evidence against that person. Okay, according to the feds, the Durk detailed the steps that led up to the August 2022 murder of rival Quando Rondo cousins Savea Robinson on Babyface Ray's song "Wonderful Wayne" and Jackie Boy when he rapped, "Told me they got an Addy, go, got location, go, green light, go, 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 go. Look on the news and see your son, you screaming, no, no, pussy." Okay? It said the song was released in December of that year, several months after the murder, but Durk lawyers claim that there's a connection to the actual murder actually lacks merit. And they continue by saying, they're talking about Durk's lawyers, by saying the claims in the indictment against Mr. Banks are false and are lacking in the most basic due diligence. The real truth is that Mr. Durk Banks, aka Lil Durk, he's a Grammy Award winning artist, a dedicated father, and a loving husband. Okay, Mr. Banks has been intensely committed to giving back to the Chicago community he loves through his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, and has put on more than a dozen charitable events over the last few years. He's looking forward to fight against these allegations in court. Okay. By the way, 50 had reacted to Durk hiring Drew Finland when he says, Lil Durk got Drew Finland on the case because he's sharp. If they didn't cross their T's and dot their I's, he gonna hit the bricks again, meaning he will be free. Drew Finland is a fine attorney. He is one of the best. They call him the $1 billion man, the guy who usually is going to get you a favorable outcome no matter how he does it, whether it's through a a lack of conviction, a non-guilty verdict, or he might find a way to put the state or the feds in this case in a position that they have no choice but to give you a favorable plea. Doubt a plea would be coming if they spent all this time to come up with this indictment, but we will see what happens, right? We will see what happens. Again, a lot of this case is going to be based on whoever is telling. Okay. The internet's ablaze. Should I jump into it now? Yeah, I guess. The internet's ablaze with somebody said call whack. What am I calling whack for? You'd hire Thug's lawyer. We gotta also understand, right? So this is a murder, right? This is a murder. This is a Fed case. You also got to think about lawyers being exhausted. Brian Steele just went through over 2 years of litigation in terms of this case, day in, day out, showing up to court like he hasn't had another case. He's only been working on this case. Like, this is really tough. Is he ready to just go on to something else? I don't know. He might need a break. Also, maybe he has other things that he's pushed back because of this. We will find out, right? Drew Finland's one of those, though. He's one of those. And also, here's the thing, too. Brian Steele, the way he worked for Thug, you can't expect him to work like that for every client. He worked for Thug as if he was Thug's lover. And I don't mean that like trying to be slick. Like he was going so hard for Thug, like Thug was his son. Like, he went hard for Thug. It's not guaranteed he's going to do all that for you. He has a personal relationship with Thug. He's said it himself.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel like Durk is actually really proud of his son for doing what he did. So I'm pretty sure everyone already knows Lil Durk's son, he shot his stepfather. Lil Durk probably shed a tear of joy after he heard that headline. That's probably Durk's favorite kid now. Which is so crazy because like uh this kid was a kid. I don't know if this is his last kid with the outside woman that's not India. I think it was like his last kid with the outside woman that isn't India. But man, I feel like this has to be his favorite kid now. He caught a body, or he almost caught a body, protecting the mama. You know, Durk definitely gonna have this in a song, just like when India was shooting back, and he put in a song on "Piss Me Off." Like, Durk definitely gonna have this in a song. He probably gonna give him some money. Probably gonna come in and take care of that kid now. You feel me? But I will say about this situation, bro, it's sad. I don't know the situation that happened. I don't know, like, it's quote unquote supposed to be self defense. I hope that the kid didn't just shoot the man for no reason, and I hope the man wasn't just like trying to beat on the mom for the boy to have to do that. Because I'm not gonna lie, even though I feel like rap music and stuff like that propels black culture to like negativity, but man, I feel like when you're that age, bro, you shouldn't have to like do that, bro. But hey, man, sons love their mother. I will say that. So you can't be surprised if he was putting his hands on that boy's mother. You can't be surprised if he almost packed you up, bro. That's how it goes sometimes, bro. You gotta learn to keep your hands to yourself. You don't keep your hands to yourself, and you can end up a pack. But let me know how you guys feel about everything. It's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.